Hello CIS30A. In this video I'm going to talk about Lab 5 EXE, which is going to be creating optional buttons or buttons with options that allows the user to click. So these are called checkbox or check button. So ultimately they're still button because they're clickable. So if you create little checkbox option, you're using check button widget in Tkinter. So you have the check button. If you create like an object to store that, you would have two parameters. The master parameter to represent the parent window, and the options is going to be the options which are available for the key value pairs with the separated comma. And the options are listed below. You can select different type of options: active background, active foreground, as far as color, and then BG for background color, bitmap, etc. Command is when we have some kind of action to be called. So there are lots and lots of different options. Now the methods that we can use with these widgets are deselect, where they can uncheck, flash, where the button will flash between regular and other color that was set. Invoke is to associate the check button with a certain method to call a certain method. Select, so when they click it, it actually select or choose and keep that option. Toggle allows you to toggle between different check buttons. So the task that we have to do is, first we gotta import Tkinter. Then we are going to create the object for Tkinter, configure the property of the object, create the label for the widget options. We need to create 3 button widgets, 3 checkboxes, 1 of each option. We wanted to configure each of the button, pack all 3 buttons, loop to listen to events. So here's my program. I imported from Tkinter. I create the root as object here for the window, and the window geometry is 300 by 200. I have a W variable for my label, and that's gonna show student option for courses. You don't have to make it exactly like this. You can say choose your favorite car, or which store would you like to go to best, or what's your favorite ice cream dessert, things like that. So we would have a label to show to the user what are the options. We're gonna pack that label. And then here are my 3 check button 1, 2, and 3. And this is going to be int var as we would select it, 1, 2, 3. For button 1, it's going to show online. I'm doing this for student options for courses. That's going to be the check button 1. The value is going to be 1. If it's selected, 0. If it's deselected, the size of it is 2 by 10. The button 2, that's going to be on site for the courses. Again, repeat the same thing, an exception that it's on site, and check button 2. Check button 3 is the hybrid, where we would have almost the same property values, but it's button 3 and the text is going to be hybrid. After we created the check button, we simply pack them. You can pack them after each one, or you can pack them at the end, and then we have a main loop. So when we run this, it's going to look something like this. And if I select online, right, now we're missing a submit option here, a button. So this is not fully complete. We can have a submit button or another button to really record to set these values. So this shows you how you can make check button or check boxes for options for your interface. And so we simply started with importing from Tkinter, set the window size, have a label to show what type of options we're working with, and then we have the 3 check buttons. We set the property for each one, we pack them, and we have a continuing loop. And this concludes my Lab 5 Exercise E video.